Evaluation is the process of reviewing an assessment artifact or performance to determine the quality of the work and the level of proficiency that is demonstrated. A big piece of the evaluation process involves providing students with feedback on their work. In this video, we want to take some time to discuss the feedback cycle and the elements of high-quality feedback. On the screen is a flow chart illustrating the submission process and the feedback cycle. As you can see, a student initially submits an assessment artifact. The facilitator then evaluates the work, provides feedback on the work, and determines whether or not the work meets proficiency. If the work is proficient, the assessment is complete. If the work is not proficient, then the student is required to revisit the learning, revise the submission, and resubmit the assessment artifact. This process repeats until the work is deemed proficient and the assessment is complete. The key element that drives this process is the feedback that is provided by the facilitator. The feedback lets the students know if the work is complete or incomplete, and the feedback provides direction on the required next steps. The quality of the feedback has a direct impact on the number of times a student may have to submit an assessment and repeat the process. Therefore, it is important that a facilitator understand the elements of high-quality feedback. There are two main types of feedback: descriptive feedback and prescriptive feedback. Let's take a few minutes to discuss each type. First, descriptive feedback involves describing what is, or possibly is not, observed in an assessment artifact or performance. Take a look at the example on the screen. The example states, "The first sentence in the introductory paragraph of the essay served as an appropriate attention getter." The thesis sentence, though, did not appear to mention all of the major points that were addressed in the essay. Only one of the three major points was stated. This feedback clearly describes what was observed in the introductory paragraph of the submitted essay. Note that the feedback highlights several key features of the paragraph and several things that were well done, but it also describes what was deficient in the paragraph. Again, descriptive feedback simply addresses what is observed. Next, prescriptive feedback provides guidance to the student about next steps for moving forward with the assessment. Take a look at the example on the screen. The example states, "In order to make the introductory paragraph stronger, the thesis sentence should be revised to include mention of all three major points that are addressed in the body of the essay. Please update the thesis sentence to complete the introduction." The feedback provides direction to the student about how to improve the work and make the introductory paragraph stronger. Note that the prescriptive feedback does not necessarily provide students with an answer. Rather, the feedback leads the student in the right direction for meeting proficiency. Again, prescriptive feedback provides guidance about next steps. It is important to point out that prescriptive feedback can also be incorporated into situations where an assessment artifact is already proficient. In this case, the feedback might simply address what the student should work on next in the learning progression. Now, take a look at the example on the screen. This example of high-quality feedback combines the descriptive example and the prescriptive example already shared with you. When combined, the prescriptive and descriptive elements result in robust commentary about the work and helps the student understand where he or she stands with regard to the assessment. Ultimately, the best feedback incorporates a combination of both descriptive elements and prescriptive elements. As a facilitator, you will likely spend much of your time evaluating student work and providing feedback. Writing detailed, high-quality feedback can be time-consuming, but it can also be time-saving in the long run, as the feedback can help minimize the number of times students need to potentially resubmit their work. As often as possible, look for opportunities to incorporate both descriptive elements and prescriptive elements into your feedback. Students will appreciate your insights and will benefit from your expert guidance and subject matter knowledge. There is an art to writing high-quality feedback, and it definitely takes practice. As you prepare to facilitate your course, begin to think about how you will tackle the job of delivering feedback to students. Know that the feedback you provide drives the evaluation process and will serve as an opportunity to communicate with students about their learning. If you have any questions about writing feedback, be sure to reach out at any time. The curriculum development team is here to support you in your evaluation efforts.